Hey class, welcome back to Business Statistics. This video is going to cover section 2.3 summation notation. So this is just going to be a real quick, real short video. I'm also going to be putting a link to the Khan Academy's video on what summation notation is, just to kind of give you an extra resource. I think they do a really good job of describing it as well. But here is my video on it. So a lot of people get scared when they see mathy kind of symbols that look like this. Okay, so this is what we are here to kind of decode. All right, so it looks real formal, it looks real mathy, and it's just really not that bad. Okay, so what this means is the summation from x sub I, so x with a subscript I, x sub I of I equal 1 to n, okay? And what that means is you have a certain number of terms, a certain number of data points, okay, that you want to sum together. So you want to add these up, okay? So x sub I is like this placeholder for, hey, this is just a random term that you have, okay? So we'll get into an example, but I want you to understand I, the sub I, and I think that's what kind of throws people off, that's like where you're counting. That's where you start counting. So that's like the number of data points. So when you say we're starting at I equal 1, that's just saying, hey, we're starting at the first data point. That's where we're going to start counting, okay? I equal 1. Iteration equals 1, okay? And then you're counting up to the number n, okay? So right here, this formula, n is not it's not an actual number right now. It's just like a vague n. So we're just going to do an example, and I'm sure that it will be much more obvious as to what's going on. So first of all, let me write in some numbers that we can add together. So how about a 4? How about a 6? How about a 9? How about a 10? And how about a 12? Okay, so we can see quickly that we have 5 terms here. Okay, so there's a 4, a 6, a 9, a 10, and a 12. All right, so what we would do, this summation notation would allow us to formalize adding these up. Okay, so we'd say the summation from I equal 1, meaning the first iteration of the summation process, all the way up to the nth term. Well, how many terms do we have? We have 5 terms. So our n is equal to 5. Okay, the summation of I equal 1, so the first iteration, all the way to the 5th iteration of x sub I. Okay, and then that's just going to be equal to the first iteration, which is 4, plus the second iteration, which is 6, plus the third, which is 9, plus 10, plus 12, and that's it. We've got our 5 iterations. We've got our 5 terms, okay? And that all sums to 41. That's it. That is literally it, okay? So that is the main concept about summation notation. So what you'll see sometimes, though, is like you'll see them throw in, so we'll have, oh, that's not very good. So the sum from I equal 1 to n of p sub I times x sub I, okay? And then like you might have associated, so p or maybe like probabilities, okay? And then x, the x sub i's would be like data elements or events or something like that. But basically, these probabilities or these data elements would be all within one row item. They would be all within the same iteration. And so then, like in this case in particular, it would be the probability, so the p sub I, of that specific event or of that data element, and you would multiply them together. And so then you would multiply those together and then add up the next combo of those, and then add up the next combo of those, and so on and so forth. Okay, but you don't even need to know that yet, because when we get to that point, I will I will explain all that again, and we'll look at the summation notation again. But the only thing that you need to know right now is that this is the main concept of summation notation. So when you see this big sigma symbol, don't let it scare you. It's fine, okay? So that's that. So video 2.3, summation notation. As I said, I'll put out the Khan Academy's video. They do a really good job. You can also look there. Also, please let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks so much, guys.